Maryland sports fans, there's only one sports book in the great state of Maryland with over 50 years experience booking bets and supporting customers. Betfred Sportsbook at Longshots is now open and is the only sportsbook in Frederick offering cash betting on football, basketball, world soccer, and more. Visit the Betfred Sportsbook at I-270 and MD-85 in Frederick, right next to Longshots off-track betting. Go to BetfredSports.com for more information and your chance to win exclusive merchandise. Must be 21 or older. Play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is HBK from the Mighty Mighty Hairball, and you are listening to The Loud Spot with the one and only Sebastian.
Oh, no! Oh, boy! Ah, here it comes! The motherfucking Loud Spot! That's right, you're listening to the almighty Hot Zone, doing the intro to the Loud Spot podcast. You goddamn right, we're doing intros for podcasts now. And if you don't like it, you can suck the entire circumference of one. Wayne Tretzky with the squeals and the drops. P1E goes on till it pops. Cannonball, don't trust a cop. Johnny Spotswood just don't know when to stop. Yeah, and if you don't like it, you better take your ass up to the snooty box, because this is the Loud Spot. Okay, see you later.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian Cosby, right out of Oklahoma City. Today, I have HBK with us from the band HAIRBALL. What's up, man?
Not much, man.
Good. And Sam is on here also, but he is muted because he has bad reception where he's at. he's just gonna
play. Sam.
Poor Sam. Dude, I want to thank you. I know you guys are probably used to doing more daytime interviews on radio stations, and unfortunately, I can't do daytime, so thank you for joining us. Late night.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
All right, so I do have a question for you. The name HAIRBALL. Did you guys go through a bunch of different names before you decided on the band name HAIRBALL?
Nope.
You got
the band was always HAIRBALL. I am not an original member, but I remember when the band began, and way back when it has been HAIRBALL from day one.
Okay, so when did you join the band?
18 or 19? 19? Something like that.
Okay, so are you the newest member of the group then?
I am the newest member of the group.
Is that why they make you do the podcast? they're like, get the new guy on there.
Only the late at night ones. No, just kidding.
So I'm assuming then, obviously, you played bass for a long time, and how did you wind up getting into the band?
All right, so I've known most of the guys for a number of years. I mean, we're both kind of from, the majority of us are all kind of from the Minneapolis kind of area overall. And so I've known their manager for a long time. And it was just one of those things where kind of over the years we had talked and, you know, hey, if anything ever happened, would you ever? And yeah, you know, let me know. We'll see how it goes. And so when the time came that they were going to make a change in the lineup, I was on the short list. And so it was just one of those things where we all kind of came from the same scene and the same kind of area. And it's, you know, even as large as this area is, you know, the music scene is still pretty small. Most everybody's played with somebody or somebody they know at some point over the years. And so it just, you know, it was just one of those things where they knew me and they knew what I did and how I do it. And so.
Yeah, they knew you could play the bass, and you obviously probably like the 80s rock genre. And so it was a pretty good mix. Was it, so before you got in the band, did you play in other bands on such a wide, such a big stage that HAIRBALL plays on?
At times, certainly not with the consistency. You know, the HAIRBALL is always on. Have certainly been on some regional tours and some things, and have done a number of national openings, and, you know, so kind of stuff like that over the years. But this, you know, consistently full time, you know, in a normal year, you know, HAIRBALL does about 120, 125 shows a year. So, that's about one every 3 days. And
yeah, you guys are actually still playing shows. I think you guys came to Oklahoma recently, right? Like in November?
Yeah, we played. We got out, we kind of shut down in March, like most everybody did last year. We were actually down in Daytona, playing Bike Week. And that was kind of it, as everything, shut down. Like, we ended that week, and, off we drove home, and that was it. And we were off till we went back out in August for kind of the month of August and September. We did Sturgis. We did some drive-in shows, which those were weird. And we did a bunch of outdoor stuff. And then we were off in October, and then November we did a couple of weeks. I think Oklahoma, Nebraska. We played a few of those last. I think we were in Deadwood. Like the last few states who had anything open, we did a couple of social distanced indoor shows, and then that was it. So we were lucky to get to do something last year after everything went.
Yeah, kaput.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I feel lucky that we were able to at least get out and do something. You don't ever really realize what you got until all of a sudden you can't go do what it is that you do anymore.
Yeah, so when you guys tour then, do you guys have to, because I saw you guys were playing, I went on your website, checked it out. Do you have to know which states are open, which states aren't open, and then within those states, the venues that you're allowed to play in? I guess you guys probably don't even do the booking. Somebody else does that for you. Right.
Yeah, we don't do that. And it's all up then to, the local promoter to kind of work with, local restrictions and to make sure that everybody's, doing what they're supposed to do. And, but it was an odd year, 2020.
Yeah. So how many shows did you guys get to play in the year?
God, I'd have to go back and add it up, but I'm going to guess maybe 35 or 40% of our shows, because like up through March, we were screaming. We were.
What do you mean 35? So 35 to 40% of your shows, meaning that reduction. And so instead of 100% of what you would normally play, that was just 35 to 40%. So in any given year, are you guys usually playing like every weekend, or do you guys like like in 2018 or 2019, how many shows do you think you did in that year?
Around 125.
Okay, so specific. 126.2.5. One was cut in half. One of the shows got cut in half. So
one went long. Yeah.
So 40% of that would be just a little over 40 shows.
Something like that, yeah. That's around there.
Okay. So, do you, so you joined the band 2018-ish, right? Do you have a favorite song, since you're new to the band, do you have a favorite song that you like to play, or a favorite band that you personally like to cover more than any other song that you guys do?
When we do our Queen set, that's great, only because, I'm a huge Queen fan. I love to play those songs is fun. They're super musical. They're very, very tasteful. They're very fun to play songs. But if it gets down to just one song, my favorite song to play, though, is probably Hot for Teacher.
Okay.
Just because our drummer is phenomenal. He nails that song, and the bass line in that song is super fun. It's like a freight train. And it's just, that's probably my favorite song that we do.
I saw your drummer's drum set, man, on some of those video clips. Dude,
it's nuts.
That shit is so nuts. He has like, is it like tubes coming down? And like, I think does he have like two floor toms, or what do you call them? Bass drums.
He's got two. Yep. So there's two kick drums. He's got, I think there's 2 floor toms on the one side. There's another one over on the other side even. Then there's like, I don't know, it's like 20 something drums. I mean, there's a gong drum, which is about the size of a kick drum that's actually behind him here. And he hit, I mean, it's that I feel bad for his drum tech. I would not want to set that thing up every night. I mean, that guy earns his money.
Yeah, man. Does anyone in the band ever go like jump off of his bass drum or like one of his bass drums? Because you guys got pretty good stage presence. Do you ever get like super crazy with it?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, the guitar player, I mean, he'll go rolling around on the stage, and which that's like it hurts, but whatever, I just look at it and go, oh. Man, my back be hurting in the morning after do that.
We're getting too old. We're getting too old to do that.
So his drum riser is like 3 levels up, and you can stand. And then on each side of that is a big platform and a staircase down. So you got there's lots of levels and places that you can run around and go to and climb up and down off of. And yeah, it's pretty, it's awesome. I mean, as a kid who grew up watching Kiss and and all that stuff, to get to play on a stage like that every night, it's awesome. It's great.
It is,
it's
dude.
A ton of fun.
HAIRBALL has a pretty big following, man. Like the band's been around for like what, 20 over 20 years, I think.
Yep, over 20. Yep, yeah, almost 21 years now.
That has to be super cool to like come into a band that's been doing stuff for a long time, has a following. It's almost like you're gifted into a band that has a bunch of fans. So when you come in as a new bass player, do they have to introduce you and be like, hey, this is our new bass player, HBK? Which HBK, does that stand for? Heartbreak Kid? Did you get that a lot? It's not an original question. Sebastian doesn't cover. Oh, yeah.
Now, entering the band was fun. And, I mean, overall, the fans have been great to me. The other thing about joining a band that has been around that long, they have fans that have been fans of the band for a long time.
Right.
And so they know the guys, and they know this guy came in here, and, we really like that one guy. So who's this new guy? Are you all right? Do we like you, or do we not like? Okay, you're okay. I guess we like you after all. But, HAIRBALL's got crazy loyal fans. I mean, you show up, and I have seen HAIRBALL tattoos on people at shows. I mean, they're swagged out. I mean, there's HAIRBALL ink out there. It's amazing.
What would suck though is if someone has like a HAIRBALL tattoo and like all the faces of the people from HAIRBALL on the tattoo, and then your face isn't on there. And Sam's gonna be putting signs up all night. He's gonna be putting signs up all night. Since he can't talk, he's gonna be writing little notes and putting them on for the video podcast part.
Ask him this. No.
Does the band do? I mean, I'm sure the band does all kinds of interviews and podcasts. I got to ask you a question because I am totally unprofessional at doing a podcast. I love doing it though. We have a lot of fun on here. Are a lot of the interviews that the band does, are they pretty scripted?
None that I've ever done. I've never actually been handed a script. I just started doing them this last year.
Okay.
But nobody's ever handed me a script. I don't know if that happens with the other guys ever or not, but no, I think that's a whole lot more fun because then I don't know. I don't know what you're going to ask me. And then I got to be awake. Wait. Yeah, no. I got to.
Dude, I interviewed a band. I did this as a friend of mine, and I asked him, because he was on another podcast, and it was scripted. And he was like, it's probably a little easier to do, and I get that. But I think unscripted is kind of more fun because you just kind of say what comes to your mind. But then sometimes I see bands in their head, they're like, I shouldn't have said that, man. I shouldn't have said that.
I say? Right.
And I'm sure. They're like, can you edit?
I shouldn't have said that.
Can you edit that out? I'm like, yeah, I'll edit that out for you, man. No problem. Don't worry about it. I'll take it out. I like to make my show look good also. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to put anything embarrassing on there.
Right.
When it comes to costume changes, but you guys don't. You guys have how many singers does the band have?
3, and so
yeah,
they kind of rotate in, throughout. So me, the guitar player, and the drummer are out the whole show, right? So we don't change. We're out there for every song the whole night, and then those 3 guys all switch in and throughout the evening. And so it's usually 1 to 3 songs, depending on the band and depending on the night and depending on. So we actually keep a list of every set list of everywhere that we play, and every time we go and return into a market, we look up what we played last time.
Okay.
And so we make sure that we, throw in different characters, different songs, even within, each of the bands that we do, so that, if you saw us in Oklahoma last year, you're not going,
it's
well, then they did Kiss, and then they did Van Halen, and then they did, it would be, oh, well, let's switch that one in and out, this in, that at least it's interesting, and it's always something, it's always new. And so every time that you come to see us, it's going to be something
different, right? It's a different show, a different venue every time. So how many songs do you have to memorize then? Like how many songs does the band have for like any given night? Like, hey, we got, we're going on tour for 3 months and here's our set list for the 3 months. Do you have to, you would have to know all the songs. So how many songs do you have memorized, man?
I'm going to say, God, I don't know what it is exactly, but it's got to be probably, so we do a 2-hour show.
Yes,
right?
yep. And that, I was going to say, it's not fair that the singers get to take a break and you guys got to be on stage the whole entire time.
Well, they get 2/3 of the night off. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
No, they'll be mad if I say it. No, I'm just kidding. So a 2-hour show, that's about 30 songs, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of...
Give or take.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of songs.
And so I bet when we're out, we probably have about 55 songs, maybe 55 or 60 songs that we have ready. So almost a complete duplicate show. And so that way, and that's the other thing. So we don't go out for 3 months at a time. In a regular year, we're out for 12 months of the year. We're never off.
Right.
We are never off of the road. So we are always, every week we're gone.
Right.
And so we'll have about 55 or so songs always ready to go. So every week or every night, we will get there and we will pull up what we played there last year if we have it, right?
Okay.
And then it's, well, what do we need to swap out? So we need to be able to swap out a good majority of the show if we need or want to on any night. So you've got to have almost 2 shows worth of music kind of always ready to go.
Well, when you do the set list then, so you don't prepare the set list prior to doing the show. Do you guys kind of do it randomly when you get to that city? That's when you guys look up? You don't already have it kind of already known what you're going to do?
No. Yeah.
That's cool though, man.
Open it up that day. Well, because usually every day that we're out, we're in a new town. And so it'll be that morning, we'll open it up, or usually that early afternoon, I should say. We'll open it up and go, okay, what did we play last time? Okay, is there anything new we want to switch up? Is there anything that we want to switch out? And then we will write that evening's set list up that day. Okay.
Is there like one song though that's like your closer that you guys play with, or that you play every show? Like, is there like a fan favorite that's like you must play this song?
It's
gotta be one song. No, maybe. I guess there's not.
Not really. I mean, there are songs that I mean, maybe Bohemian Rhapsody. That probably.
That's a good song. You got to play that one. You got.
Well, and that's one that if you don't play it, how come you play Bohemian Rhapsody? You play it last time you were here,
dude.
Like, oh. Yeah.
Do you guys ever get emails or messages from fans like, "Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? I came to see this song." Does that happen ever?
Oh, absolutely, it does.
That would suck because you're trying to do the best thing you can do, and then someone complains about it.
Well, right. It's always so. Okay, so we roll into your town, and let's just say there's a crowd of 2,000 at the show, right?
Okay.
And right, so how many of those people go, "Yeah, play Bohemian Rhapsody because you played it last time. I want to hear it again. That was so good." Okay. Or on the flip side of that, the other half who go, "Why didn't you play Fat Bottom Girls? I mean, you played Bohemian Rhapsody last time. Play Fat Bottom Girls. Play Another One Bites the Dust. What the hell's wrong with you people? Why do you always have to play the same goddamn songs?" So you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
You can't please everybody, man. You can't.
You give them what they want, or you're being repetitive, or you don't. I mean, so, again, I think we've found a pretty good balance of knowing how much to switch out, how much to make sure that we give them what they like. And again, most of the time, it's not even a song. It's usually, well, did you do Kiss? Or did you do Prince? Or did you do Queen? So we might keep the same, we might keep the same band, but we'll mix up the songs that we play from them. Like, we won't play the same Van Halen tunes that we did a year ago.
Right.
But we're going to do Van Halen.
Gotcha.
Because it's Van Halen, right? I mean,
So on your level of playing, what's the biggest audience you've personally played in front of with Hairball?
It's about 13,000.
Okay. On that level of playing at this point, because you have your tribute bands that are not like Hairball, that are just local bar guys, right? That aren't really on your stage. They don't have to ask permission to play cover songs because they're just playing in front of 30 people at some random bar. You guys are playing in front of 13,000 people, Do you at that level need to, or at least contact the band and say, "Hey, we're going to do this song. We're Hairball. Check us out." Or does everyone kind of know who you are already? Even those famous guys are like, "Do whatever you want."
They kind of, the vast majority of them know who we are. And a lot of them have played with us. I mean, over the years, Hairball has had Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Rob Halford, Stephen Piercy, Tom Kiefer, Mark Slaughter, Sebastian Bach, Brett Michaels, Lita Ford. We've had a lot of those guys have been on stage with us at some point or another.
Sebastian Cosme with the Loud Spot. Don't forget that. Don't forget that name.
Sebastian, we did a thing in San Francisco. It was right around a year ago.
Okay.
And we did a thing, and he came up, and we did 3 songs of his with us. And it was fun. It's always cool for us in the band to get to play with the original artist, with Hairball, because, these are guys who I sat and went to their shows, as a fan, growing up, and here I am playing on the stage, and I'm playing their songs, and they're singing them. That's pretty cool.
Do you ever get nervous? Or did you at first and now you're kind of used to it?
Yeah, I've done enough national openings. I mean, even years ago, getting to go open up, for David Lee Roth, for Slaughter, Cinderella, blah, blah, blah. I mean, most all of those 80s bands, I had been an opener, in the early 90s for. So any kind of nervousness there. You know what I would
love to ask your singer or your drummer? Not necessarily bass player so much, but I would love to know if anyone in the band has ever been on stage and like completely forgot what they were supposed to sing, or forgot how they were supposed to drum, or forgot how they were supposed to play guitar. As a bass player, if you forget, you can always just look at the guitar player and be like, oh yeah, that's right, that's what I'm doing. But if the guitar player forgets, okay, I'll ask you this, has a guitar player ever forgot something and you're like, no dude, you're playing the wrong thing? Or are you guys just that professional that doesn't happen anymore?
It doesn't happen much.
How when it does happen, it does happen.
The only thing that's ever happened with our guitar player was where he's looked down on the list and he's looked at the wrong place, and he is and he's either started or he's called out the wrong. I think one time he started the wrong song. And now see, with us, that's a big deal because it's not like just a regular cover band where,
right.
Okay, well, the singer, he'll just sing the next thing. No, that's a different guy. And he's not in costume yet, right? And so that happened one time where he went out and he started a different character first. Like he just, he looked at the list and he went over them and he went to the next character. And the guy was standing off stage going, hello, Vince Neil, not Steve Perry, or
dude,
whoever it was. And he was like, I didn't know if I should sing that song as this other guy or if but thankfully that does not happen too often.
Yeah, yeah. And I would say as a singer, it's probably harder to make mistakes because you memorize the lyrics, But, some of these local bands that I talk to, I'm like, did singer forget the lyrics? They're like, yeah. It probably doesn't happen with you guys, but if it ever did, that'd be kind of funny. Because the crowd probably knows the lyrics, They're like, dude, you're singing the wrong thing.
We've had times where like they've had a technical issue and like the vocal didn't work.
Okay.
And the crowd sang like the first half of the song and they were louder than we were. And until the guy got the mic working, they just sang the song for us and we're like, okay, we'll just keep playing. This is cool.
Dude,
because they know every word. I mean, that's the thing,
Yeah.
Hairball is a 2-hour highlight reel. I mean, it is the best of all of those groups.
Yeah, 2 hours, man. That your fans must. I mean, I was watching a lot of the videos on YouTube and on your website, and you guys definitely look like you have a lot of fun.
It's a ball. It is a complete ball. And after
it's a hairball.
2 hours, I am spent. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But, it's really the great, the ticket for the value, for the production, the staging and the lights and the video and the pyro and all the shit that you get is everything that you would get at any arena show, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, again, like you get a 2-hour highlight reel. It doesn't matter. I mean, if for some reason you don't like Kiss, and I don't understand why you wouldn't like Kiss. Say you don't like Kiss. All right, you're the one weird guy at the show. Don't worry. In about 5 minutes, it's going to turn into Van Halen, and then it's going to be Motley, and then it's going to be Journey, and then it's going to be Ozzy, and then it's going to be Queen, and then it's going to be Whitesnake or Loverboy or, whatever. Don't worry, the next round of highlights is up. So even if you don't like a band, you don't have to because how many shows did you ever go to where like I really dug the headliner, right? But they had 2 opening bands that I was like, they suck. I don't want to go hear that band. Yeah. But you had to go sit through an hour or an hour and a half of shit that you didn't want to listen to finally get to the stuff that you wanted to listen to.
Right.
Well, us.
You get it all. You get
it all. And then it's boom, highlights from that band. And then 2 songs later, it's boom, highlight again. And then 2 songs later, it's something else. So it is just bam, 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 bam. Just one complete classic group after another. And the costumes and the detail that these guys, I mean, the wardrobe cases are redonkulous. I mean, they are gigantic, and those costumes are thousands of dollars.
I was gonna ask you, but before I ask you this question, I do want to say that if you did not like 80s music or 80s rock and you were younger and you go to your concert, you're turning them into fans of whatever bands that you're playing. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty, but I do want to ask you. I want to ask you about,
amazing, the kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because you can get like a 12-year-old, 14, 15-year-old kid that the parents like the music. Kids are like, you're dragging me to this concert. I don't want to go. I want to listen to, I don't even know what's famous anymore. I was going to say Marilyn Manson, but that's like late 90s. So not Marilyn Manson. But you get these 15-year-old kids in there, and I guarantee you guys put on such a good show that the energy that you guys project onto that crowd.
They're just in awe. They're like, they're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Because we got giant wall, screens and video and shit's blowing up and light and smoke and fire and,
I want to.
Cool.
We'll go ahead and get into the pyrotechnics because I was going to bring that up anyways. So the pyrotechnics, right? You guys got a bunch of fire and shit going on. Has anyone ever been hurt on stage or in the audience, even before you joined the band, just as a whole, that you know of?
Not really hurt, but if you do look up, so one of the singers did catch on fire. It's got like 1.5 million views on YouTube. Does it
really? He get hurt really bad?
No, luckily he did not. He just lost some hair. But he, that happened. So I joined, I left. I went on the road in May 1st of the year that I started. And this would have been probably February of that year.
Okay.
That had happened. So it was fresh still, right?
Uh-huh.
So, and that was the most nerve-wracking thing about joining HAIRBALL, because, so it's pretty much 3 things. So first you have to play the song, right?
Right.
Learn the song, know how to play the song. Then 2, is, the show. Okay, you got to be here. We all come into the front here. There's lighting cues where, you want to be in the light and not in the dark, or in the dark and not in his light, or this, that, or the other. So there's places that you need to be throughout the show to be in the light,
because you know where it's going to explode and all that stuff. So you got your stage, you got to know where to stand.
Right. But then you have to know where shit's going to explode and when, right? Because those are the other cues that you have to, so you have your lighting stuff that you need to understand here, or he's all alone up there, so stay away because in that moment blah blah blah, whatever, right? But then you got to know where shit's gonna blow up, and you don't want to be there then either. And stuff blows up in a couple of different places on the stage. It's not always just in one spot. So that's the other thing. And so I remember my first week or 2 on the road, I was still okay, I learned my songs. I got that down. Okay, easy enough. And then it was oh shit, we all come together. All right, God damn, I missed that spot. Okay, blah, blah, blah. But the ones that you really don't want to forget or miss are the ones where okay, shit's going to blow up and I don't want to be standing there. Now, luckily, our pyro guy is really good.
So is the pyro guy kind of in the band? Even though he's not in the band, it's the same pyro guy.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's our guy.
He's a part of
all the time. He's on the road with us.
Okay.
He does all our stuff. And I learned to always, just every however often, I look over, because he's on the side of the stage, right?
Right.
And I learned to always look over at that guy every once in a while and go,
yeah.
And all I have to have is that nod of yep, you're in the right place.
Right.
They don't blow you up. I won't light you on fire tonight, Brian. Thank you. Perfect, thank you.
So when you joined the band, not only did you have to know all the songs that they played, you also have to know how to do the choreographing with the fire, the pyrotechnics. It's not so when you're on stage, you can't just do whatever you want. You can't just go run around, and you can, but you always have to keep in the back of your head.
Still within the guidelines of, in this song, there's an explosion in the beginning. this song, there's explosion at the end or in the middle or both. And, so you got to know it's not all just, I can't just run around completely free.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's crazy to have to know your songs and think about that at the same time. That'd be a little bit difficult, but that just shows how professional you are with knowing the music, to be able to come into a band that's been around for as long as they've been around, come in 2018 or so, and be able to do that and be able to choreograph with them. That was, if it comes easy for you, that's awesome, man.
And then have it look like you're not really
right
thinking about anything, of course. Like you're just having fun and rock and rolling, right? Because that's...
Right, like I'm faking like how I know how to do a podcast right now. I'm just like totally just winging it, dude. Okay, totally fake. Not that it's the same. I'm just saying that it's a little similar.
Nobody's going to light you on fire, Sebastian.
I don't know, man. I might get some pyrotechnics behind me over here. You've kind of inspired me to get... Sam, there you go. See, we got fire right now. I should.
Light something on fire, Sam.
Light your hat on fire. Don't light your hat on fire.
Oh.
So with the three different singers that you guys have, do the singers constantly change? Or do they only have one costume for the night, or do they change in between? Like, does one singer come on as Gene Simmons and then comes back on as Ozzy Osbourne later on in the night?
They each change throughout the night. They each do, I think in a regular show, they each do 4
oh wow.
Four different characters is what we call them. But 4 different guys.
Okay.
And so they're always, and that's also part of what goes into doing the set list, right? Is different guys require longer or shorter amounts of time to get changed. So like you can't put a one song set ahead of certain others, because they need time to get out of that previous complete costume, hair, makeup, wig, costume, and get another one completely done in the time that those other 2 guys are on the stage. Okay,
so earlier I said that they don't really do the full show because you guys are on stage for 2 hours, but really they kind of have it a little bit. They're on strict schedule guidelines. So even though they're not on stage, so backstage.
They're working there.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, it's crazy. Like every once in a while, like during the drum solo, if I need to grab something, I'll go in there and I'll look.
Right.
And those guys are just working their, they're just working their ass off. It's crazy what they pull off.
Wow. So do you have a whole crew of makeup artists that go to the show with the band?
No, those guys do all their own.
Oh, they do it themselves.
They do it all their own, and to watch.
Wow.
Like, to like watch the guy do the Kiss makeup. It's freaking pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, man, I bet.
Or to watch the guy do the, the classic Twisted Sister. I mean, to look just like Dee Snider and do all of the makeup and do that like in a very condensed amount of time. That's pretty freaking cool.
It is. Dude, how many wigs does the band own? Because you guys all can't have great hair. You can't all have great hair like you.
No, they don't. No, but God, I don't know how many wigs those guys. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah. I don't have. See, if I was in your band, I'd get kicked out. they kicked me out right away.
Each one's like $1,500. I mean, they're high. I mean, it is crazy the level of costumes and the quality. And obviously years and years ago, it wasn't always that way.
Right.
And at some point, it was like, okay, well, if you're gonna go play and front of 2, 3, 4, 5,000, 12,000 people, like you have to deliver, like you can't be looking like you just left a Halloween store, right?
Right.
I mean these
the band's going to naturally grow and progress, and especially 20 years of playing, you know, and maybe there's been some members in and out, but Hairball as a band has been around for a long time. So after 20 years, you know, I'm sure they've raised some money and bought some like high end. They want to make it look like you're at that concert, because I saw one of the videos on YouTube where it was Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne was the singer, and the movements and like just the way.
Oh, they get the mannerisms.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, it is a theatrical show, and I mean, I always like to say, you know, like I'll do interviews or this or that, or if, you know, whenever anyone want to ask me, so what is this Hairball thing like? What is it? You know, and I say, well, if an 80s rock concert and a Vegas review had a baby, it would be Hairball. Because, like, even when we go play in Vegas, like, the quality of the costumes, the quality of everything, like, when we go to a casino later or we do this or that, our stuff is just as nice, if not nicer. I mean, that is kind of the level. I mean, the guy who does Kiss has stuff, has his stuff made by the same guy who makes the costumes for Kiss.
Right.
So it's not like, well, we go make our own or we do this, that. Like, his are made by the same guy who makes the costumes for Kiss, makes the costumes for our guy. I mean, it's that level. It's that level of stuff. And it's crazy.
Dude, congratulations on you guys' success. Really, the thing that you guys do is absolutely fantastic. After watching your guys' videos, when you come to Oklahoma, I wish I would have known in November, and I would have talked to you before then, because I would have definitely went to that show. I would have loved to see you guys play live, and I probably would have been like, remember me? Remember the podcast guy? That's what I would have said. That 2 hours set, that's awesome. HBK, I want to thank you for being on the show. I know it's not too late for us, but I think I kind of covered everything, man. You've been great to have on the podcast.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, I had fun. I love talking about rock and roll.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. I do want to ask you, if people want to go find you online, I know you guys got the YouTube channel thing all set up. Where can they go to find your merch, find out more about the band?
Everything starts at hairballonline.com. I mean, that's our website. There's our stores on there, so you can order merchandise. Or you can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We're on all, you know.
Are you on TikTok?
We're everywhere through there.
Are you on TikTok?
Ooh.
I only asked that because Sam's making me get a TikTok account, and I don't even want it, but he's making me get one.
You know, that's a good question. I'll have to ask my kid. No, wait.
My daughter's on TikTok. I told my daughter, I said, don't follow me on TikTok. My producer is making me get one. I don't want it, but he's forcing me. I told my daughter, don't follow me, please. It's not the content you want to see. She's like, she's 12. Just don't follow your dad. Do something else. Do something else. So I want to thank all the listeners for listening to The Loud Spot. I want to thank HBK from Hairball for being on the podcast, man. Thank you so much. Great interview. I thought it was awesome. You can check out theloudspot.net. We got merchandise on there. Go to our YouTube channel. Hit subscribe. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. We're not on Twitter, but we are unfortunately on TikTok now. And I guess that's about it. Peace out, everybody. Much love. Talk to you soon. Bye.
See ya.
This is the Loud Spot outro by nothing short of tragic. Is this all talk with no action? No. Is this my thoughts with distraction? No. Is this what I bought that's in fashion? Or is this the Loud Spot with Sebastian? Yes. Does nothing short of tragic have us back again? Yes. Does everything that's good really have to end? Yes. pin post, have to pin show. So to get more episodes, make an order, this is over.